What's up, everybody? It's Dingers time. We are back with another episode. A lot of stuff's happening in Denver sports, Nuggets, the draft. The Avalanche just went up 3-1, and so got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we want to thank Chris last week. Thank you so much for coming on. We had a blast with you. It was so much fun just talking NBA playoffs. That's kind of our bread and butter.
Yeah, we made our first big mistake. We forgot to hit record on the camera.
Yeah.
Feel kind of silly for that, but
yeah, we still got the audio. And the worst is, as we're doing it, I message Kyle. I'm like, hey, check if it's on.
Yeah,
and I meant to mean that it was is it recording?
Yeah, I totally misunderstood him. I just thought to check if it's on, and it was on, but just forgot to hit record. So.
Yeah, and so, but oh well, the audio was awesome. Thanks again, Chris. That was so much fun, and we just had a really good talk. We could have talked for another hour probably talking NBA playoffs. Let's go right into NBA playoffs, though. That's our first thing. Just right in the middle of the first round, the Lakers beat the Nuggets last night. Unfortunately, they went up, or Nuggets are still up 3-1, but we didn't get the sweep, didn't get our brooms out. Yeah. But for me, I actually think, now I don't want to say it's a good thing we lost.
Yeah.
Because obviously I would have much rather had, but I don't think it's all that bad if we just win tomorrow night as well, And so it was almost like we kind of needed a little kick in the pants, It was because we just look every single game, even last night, up till maybe 2 minutes left, even maybe a little lower than that. Yeah. It was just oh, we're going to come back. We're going to win.
Yeah, I think in the 48 minutes, I think we only played well, maybe 6.
Of last night's?
Yeah, less than 10.
If that. Last night it was just bad.
And it's odd that not a single time did the Denver Nuggets lead. That's so rare, especially in a playoff game.
Yeah.
And I just think the first 3 games they should have been kicking the pants.
Yeah,
because we have not played good.
Well, and that's what this is almost showing. It's hey, we are beatable, and not just the players, even the fans, especially because you listen to Denver radio, or if you listen to, ESPN, they're always, but even Denver radio, or if you're on the Twitter or Facebook or anything like that on Denver forums. Everybody's oh, we're sweeping them, we got this. And they almost are pretty much saying oh, the Nuggets are in the championship.
Yeah.
Which is guys, we did win last year. And we have a great team. We have a great chance, but it's not guaranteed that we're going to win. And some of these fans, and I don't think the players are necessarily like that. But I think it definitely shows them hey, all right, we need to come out.
You need to play you know how to play.
Exactly.
Because I do think if Nuggets are locked in, we're really tough to beat. I'm still not saying we're unbeatable when we're locked in, but first 4 games, really, we haven't been locked in.
Yeah.
Nearly at least not for over half the game.
Yeah. Oh, it's usually a quarter and a half that we play really good, and thankfully, even our bad is okay. So it's not we're down a crazy amount. Usually, it's still a 10-point game, and it's in the NBA. That's nothing. Well, right when we were coming down here earlier, Dallas was down 31, and when we came down, it was a 2-point game. I don't know how that's going to finish, but it was a 2-point game in the fourth. And so even that, it's just wow, it can change in an instant.
I was telling you last night before the game, I was more nervous going into Game 4 than I was Games 1 through 3, just because I had a feeling that Denver is prone to do this. They're going to come out, no energy, because they don't have it, they don't really care if they sweep. But I wanted them to sweep just because of that Minnesota-Phoenix series. Phoenix can't do a thing. Yeah.
Hopefully they can win one. But even without the sweep, if we can win tomorrow and say Minnesota sweeps tonight, for me it's not that big of a deal. If Minnesota sweeps tonight and then we lose tomorrow night, then it's getting where it's man, they have a lot more rest because our next game wouldn't be till Thursday. Well, they're not putting the game on Saturday if we win that one. So it's they are going to get a week possibly.
You don't want to give Minnesota any advantage.
Exactly.
Because they're probably going to be the toughest team to go through.
Yep.
But
it's crazy. I saw this stat. It was out of 192 total minutes in the Nuggets series right now, Nuggets-Lakers series, the Nuggets have only led 41 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yeah.
Out of 192 minutes, and we're up 3-1.
Yeah.
The Lakers have led 136 minutes and 31 seconds, which is like, if you're just looking at that, and we've been tied for 14 minutes and 7 seconds. If you're just looking at that, you're like, well, the Lakers probably won all 4.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like looking at that, really.
Which I think, even looking at it, I mean, we're lucky we won Game 2 off that buzzer beater from Jamal.
Oh, extremely.
Like that, I am still shocked we won that game. And then Game 1, I think Game 1 was the most, I don't know, game that we did win, because I think we won by 11. But
we kind of pulled away there at the end.
Like the third and fourth in Game 1, we kind of did what we were like normally do, and we took care of business. But Game 3, like you said, or Game 4, like you said, it's like they were just waiting. It's like, oh yeah, well, the Lakers are going to come out flat in the third, and we're going to come back like that. And I mean, they somewhat did. I think we still won that third quarter, but it wasn't like games 1 through 3 where we're absolutely killing them Game 3 or third quarter. And which it's no surprise. Like, it's LeBron James, Anthony Davis, like they're great ball players, and you can't expect them to be bad every single game.
Well, it's not like a lot of people, I think, just thought that they were just going to roll over and die.
Yeah, there's no way. It's
like LeBron's came back many times, I think. Maybe not many. I know it was that big one in, was it the 14-15 season against Golden State? Yeah. When they were down 3-1, came back and won. So he's been down 3-1 before and came back and won. 3-0 is a little different, but now it's 3-1. And like he said after the game, it was after Game 3.
Yep.
He was saying, he's like, it's a 1-game series for us.
Yeah.
We can't look at it as a 7-game series. We have to look at it, all right, this game. And I hope the Nuggets are looking at it that too. Yeah. Because when you look at it, when you're up 3-0 and you look at it and it's a 7-game series, you're like, oh, okay, even if we lose 1 or 2,
we can drop it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. And I think we're going to win tomorrow. So I'm not, a lot of people are like, oh, Lakers figured it out. I don't think, I think they've been playing better the entire series though.
Yeah.
And so I think we're very lucky the way we've played that we're up 3-1. But I hope that at home, we have a great home record. Hopefully at home we can definitely get it done.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot of big NBA stuff going, but the one we watched earlier today, 76ers lost to the Knicks. Yeah. Now they're down 3-1. Yep. And I wanted to bring this up because we've talked about this. This was after Game 3.
Yeah.
But Joel Embiid grabs Mitchell Robinson's ankles.
Yeah, and kind of pulls him down. Yeah.
Dude, such a dirty player.
I agree.
Ridiculous. And it just, oh my gosh, it frustrates me. And it's funny because even some other NBA players were like, all right, say that's Draymond Green. Does he get ejected?
Probably.
Which, that brings me to this thing. I saw this stat, and it blew me away. I did not think that this was it. But Draymond Green's played in 900, and this was as of Game 3, okay? He's played in 970 games in his career. Joel Embiid's only played in 489.
Yeah.
Now, I know I already told you, right? I already told you what this is?
Yeah.
Okay, I shouldn't have because I wanted to, ask. But, so, Draymond Green's played in 481 more games. Flagrant fouls, which that's what everybody says Draymond's known for. Draymond's only had 21 flagrant fouls, and Joel Embiid has 23 flagrant fouls.
Yeah.
In 481 less games, he's had 2 more flagrant fouls than Draymond Green, that's his rep. You know? Yeah. It's like, what in the world? And there was one during the game today he probably should have gotten a flagrant foul. Probably. He gave a forearm shiver to Jalen Brunson.
Yep. And because it was the play after, they couldn't look at it.
Yeah.
So
is it because people don't want Joel Embiid to be that? Like, so he's not? Or why does Draymond Green get all this bad rep, but Joel Embiid does the same stuff? All right, Joel Embiid didn't choke a guy out, but you know what I mean? But is it because they're not as big of a thing, or is it because Golden State has been such a top team
I think
they're in the focus more, whereas in like Philly they haven't been. Well, Joel Embiid's starting to come up now the last couple of years, so now people are kind of seeing it.
I think it's more that Draymond Green, his flagrant fouls are so much more extreme, where he is choking somebody out or excessively throwing a punch or whatever. Like, I'm not saying Embiid's flagrant fouls are not like bad, but they're not.
But you don't see him choking egregious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think this last one,
if I had to guess, it would be because of that. But I do think Joel Embiid is a somewhat dirty player that just kind of gets the, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, like, it's not that big of a deal.
I think is completely wrong, because I do agree with all the other players that if that was another player, he'd be ejected. Like, no questions asked. And I also kind of wonder...
Dude, that pissed me off so much, that foul, just watching it. Because, not even that he didn't get kicked out, but it's like, man, there's like some unwritten rules, I feel like, in basketball.
Well, yeah.
And especially, like, I mean, I'm not a big guy, I'm not a center, but I feel like especially like the center, it's like, dude, you don't take each other's legs out. And he said, he's acting, or he was like, I wanted to protect myself. Dude, if you wouldn't have touched him, he wouldn't even have touched you.
No.
Because he doesn't have to jump to dunk the ball, and he had it. He was about to do it. And then he pulls him, and then he pushes him off of him.
Yeah. It's like you're the one that pulled him.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I do kind of wonder, since the game was in Philly, if that kind of had anything to play with. Because if they would have thrown out Embiid, Philly fans, they would have lost it.
I remember, I think it was in the game, and I think it was the announcers or something. They were saying, they're like, man, you could have had like a Malice in the Palace sort of kind of thing. Because at that time, too, it's like, that could have been some interesting stuff. I'm just so glad that
especially because, after game 2 with the officiating, like that was. I think so. Maybe it wasn't that it didn't deserve one, but hey, to save this game,
that was kind of in their heads.
Let's keep him in the game.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, just reading the rules for flagrant 1 versus flagrant 2, really the only difference is the word excessive. And because they're both non-basketball plays, meaning that, hey, you don't need to do this, but you did it, which to me, that was excessive because
he could have got really hurt.
Yeah, he could. Well, he did get hurt. He sprained his ankle, but it was the different ankle.
Yeah, because later on, Joel Embiid kicked him in the groin, and I think he landed on him or something, and he hurt his ankle as well. So he should have gotten kicked out there too, because that should have been a flagrant one.
Yeah, I just think, and then that changed the whole entire game, because then we all know Embiid ends up scoring 50. It's like New York honestly could have already won this, because if you get thrown out there, because I was still in the first, I think.
I think it was second.
Maybe.
I think it was 8 minutes in the second, if I remember.
But still, super early. If you get
Joel Embiid kicked butt after that too.
Then you probably don't win that game.
I think he had 12 points at that point, and then I think it was that, and then he finished 38 more, so 50 total. Is there any other teams that or series that are kind of surprising you?
I was kind of surprised with Phoenix not being very good.
I'm surprised about that too, because it's not been that they've just lost. They haven't looked good at all in any games.
Every single game I've watched all 3 of them so far. Not the whole entirety, but most of them. It's always in the second quarter. Minnesota goes on a run to finish and close the quarter out, and then Phoenix comes in and second half duds.
Yeah.
That game is won in the second quarter, and you can just see it in every player's face, in Minnesota's and Phoenix, that Minnesota is looking at them like, yep, we got them.
Yeah.
We got them on the ropes. They're done. And then Phoenix, it's
just kind of gives up
and then
almost.
They can't make a shot.
And the thing with that is, what is it, Matt Ishby, I think is the owner of Phoenix, right? Ishba? Ishby?
Yeah.
I think it's Matt Ishby. He came in and made this roster. You don't have a future. I don't think you have a first round or a second round in the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can trade and stuff, but they're also their cap space. They have Durant, they have Booker, they have Nurkic, they have Bradley Beal. So it's not like they have all this money to spend either.
And also, all of those guys are all pretty old or getting old.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Booker's younger.
Yeah, Devin Booker's younger, but you're not.
And they just signed Grayson Allen too for $70 million. Nurkic, he's not that old. I mean, he's right around Jokic. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like Phoenix hasn't really ever used Nurkic correctly.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's my opinion.
He honestly probably should have stayed in Portland, but it's tough because at that time he had Lillard as well, and so. Yeah. But I think Lillard and him played very good together.
I think Phoenix was a lot better with DeAndre Ayton, but I know Ayton and Booker and Durant did not get along at all.
Yep.
So
I liked DeAndre Ayton actually.
Defensively, I think Nurkic is better and Eubanks, but.
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger. I feel like he plays bigger too. I think Ayton's technically bigger, but I think Nurkic plays a little bigger.
I think,
he likes to bump bodies.
He plays tougher.
He's almost like an enforcer kind of thing.
Same with Eubanks. Eubanks is not afraid to
it's kind of like
get up in your grill. And
it reminds me of like an enforcer in hockey and stuff. Yeah. But with hockey, the Avs today, we were waiting to film this until after the Avs game. Yep. They take a commanding 3-1 lead. After losing that first game, heartbreaker, they lost 7-6.
Yep.
And when you score like 6 goals, you're expecting to win.
Oh, yeah.
And you lost, but then you go into Winnipeg, win game 2, come back and take care of business.
And we've looked amazing.
Well, what do we have? 22 goals in 4 games?
Yeah.
Is it 22? Wow. Just... What an offensive powerhouse.
And this is against the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
Winnipeg came in.
The best goalie.
Yep.
Like, he's going to win. I don't know if they've announced it yet, but he's probably going to win the goalie.
He's the heavy favorite.
Uh-huh. And so, you put like 5, 6, 7 goals up against him.
Yep.
You're not expecting that. And especially the way we played against them in the regular season.
Yep.
It was like, man, I'm a little worried,
Yep.
But now, I know we're going back to Winnipeg. But even if they can take one in Winnipeg, so we're up 3-2. The way we've played these last, I think we're going to go into Winnipeg and win, just the way we've been playing. But if you can go into Winnipeg, or if you lose in Winnipeg, I don't think they're going to win at home. They're not going to beat us when we're at home.
Yeah. I did write this down. So in the NHL, when you're up 3-1, there's been 333 times that's happened in the history of the NHL. The team that's got 3 wins wins 301 times. So they're 301 and 32.
Or 32? Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely...
So history's on your side. I bet you it's probably pretty similar to the NBA as well.
Yeah, NBA, you're 268 and 13.
Okay. So it's pretty similar. And it's tough to look at the history because people obviously... lose, and so you don't want to. Yes, history's on your side, and you should, especially being up 3-1. You've obviously been playing good, and you find a way to win. So there's no way you should lose 3 straight. You'd think, but it obviously happens, and there's probably another, 30 of those that have gone to a game 7, but the team has won or something like that.
Yeah, because it's interesting. So when you're up 3-0 in the NHL, teams are 204. And then the NBA, you're 151 and 0. So NBA doesn't really change that much. Only 13 teams because you're losing. You're down 3-0, and then you probably win 1 to go 3-1, and then lose again. But so it's only 13 teams additional. But then when you go to the NHL, it's 28.
I will tell you right now, if the Nuggets lose, I will cry.
Yeah,
if we're the first team to ever lose, I don't think they're going to, but I would be so upset.
It would be a heartbreaker. But I do think if we win this series, which knock on wood we will, I think this is a huge confidence going into the next round,
especially the way we've played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I do think the next round it will be the winner of Dallas and Vegas, which. Currently, Vegas is surprising everybody up.
Oh, you're saying Avalanche now or hockey? Okay, you were talking basketball for a second.
I
think you meant it's the Avs. Yeah, I think you meant the Avs. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know, but all right, you meant
my bad.
With the Avs winning. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Exactly. And I think we can take Dallas or Vegas. That's a great series right now. Yeah. Last night, Dallas won in overtime, or was it single overtime or double? I don't know. Either ways, I know they won 3-2. Daniel Negreanu, the poker player, he lives in Vegas, big Knights fan. And before the game, this was a couple hours before the game yesterday, he tweeted, he's like, I don't know how or who's going to win, but I know it's going to be a 3-2 overtime winner. That's what it's going to be. And everybody on Twitter is like, today, they're like, how did he know? Negreanu, like, he's a gambler. It's like, he doesn't know, but it's like, I mean, he's from Toronto. He's a big hockey fan. Yeah. And now being in Vegas and stuff. And so he watches a lot of hockey. But I was just laughing at that. And he's one of my favorite poker players, so I follow him. And yeah, it's just funny.
But, staying on NHL real quick, I just want to bring this up. I think the NHL seeding format is whack. It's messed up, I think, in my opinion. So for those that don't know, the NHL, you take the top 3 teams in each division, and that makes up your first 12 teams, and then the remaining 4 is filled by the next 2 teams. So they go by division rather than conference, which NBA and everything else basically goes by conference.
Yeah. The only thing in the NBA is the conference, or the division is, if you win your division, you're guaranteed home advantage.
Yeah.
So, like for us, for example, like, actually, I don't think that is true anymore.
I don't know if it is. I think it just goes... that is,
because the Nuggets, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves,
we're all in the same division.
Our top 3, and we're in the same division. So they might have switched that. But I agree with you. I
just think if I was Winnipeg right now, if I was their coach, I'd be so upset.
Yeah.
Because you're the second best team in your conference, and you're getting Colorado as your first draw.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be the worst luck ever. Mm-hmm. So, and
when you really should be playing,
playing 7th. LA.
That's what
LA Kings, which they're down 3-1 right now, I think.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the bracket.
Well, and that's where, you should be. It's tough because I kind of think that they should just get rid of divisions altogether.
Yeah.
Part of me, and I think we've talked about this on the pod, part of me thinks that it shouldn't even be the top in each conference. Maybe you can say, all right, so there's 8 teams, say, like in hockey or basketball, say not the play-in or whatever, but like you can obviously add the play-in for basketball at the end. But there's 8 teams. Maybe you can say the top 6 teams in each conference, no matter what, are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
However, those next 4, it does not matter what conference they're in. It's just the best teams.
Yeah.
Like I kind of think that, because you want to see the best teams. Exactly. And I get it's tough because you obviously don't play everybody the same.
Yeah.
You usually play the other conference twice a year, and then like your conference
4 times.
4 times, I think. I don't know exactly. I think that's how it. But anyways, I would like to see both of them. It's almost like get rid of the conferences, or like I said, do something where it's like, all right, the top 6. So it's like, hey, you made it. Or even like top 4 or something, because maybe it's top 4, because then each conference has 4 teams that have home court or home ice advantage. No matter what, top 4 in that, and you are guaranteed home court or home ice advantage.
I would love
and then
that.
Your next 8 is whatever it is. And I bet you it doesn't like change an extremely lot.
Yeah.
Those last couple probably would.
Yep.
And so that's where I kind of would like that more. And I would like to see, instead of it, almost like a March Madness in a way, whereas, so like this year, it would have been the Boston Celtics versus,
what was it, like Atlanta?
It'd be tough. Yeah, it'd be tough like in the, like the play-in and stuff. But like something like that, And in hockey, who was the top? We were just talking about it.
Top was the Rangers, I think.
Let's see here. Just click league here. Yeah, so the Rangers would play against the New York Islanders. It would have been this time, And so And that's why, like in hockey, it wouldn't have switched anything because the top 16, it's 94 points, is the Islanders. Well, they're the next, St. Louis wouldn't have gotten in. So it wouldn't have switched. It would have just switched the...
it would have just, changed who you're playing, which...
Exactly. And
even if they move to like a 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7 kind of thing, it doesn't change that much. Winnipeg would have played LA, Colorado would have played Edmonton, and then East, the opponents wouldn't have changed, but Carolina, who was the number 2 in their conference, they would have been the number 2, but now they're technically the 3rd best team because they didn't win their division.
Yep.
But they're in the same division as New York.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it really...
If this was like in the NBA, it would mean then that the Nuggets would have been a 4th seed and Minnesota would have been a 5th seed.
Yeah.
That's how it would have been.
Yeah.
Like, because neither of us, OKC won the division.
Exactly.
And I was just looking at, so in the NBA, Boston was number 1, and then with the play-in, Atlanta and Chicago wouldn't even have gotten in. Houston would have been in there. And so the lowest seed that's actually in the playoffs would be Miami.
Yeah.
So that's who they would have played, or whatever Boston would have, technically.
Yeah. So it doesn't really change that much.
I mean, it changes those last couple, but it changes a lot, like who you would play and stuff.
And I think it would make matchups so much more competitive because you want the best matchups. You want every single matchup in the playoff to be amazing.
I don't know if it would make it, because you're having your very top team. I mean, you're already having, it's tough because you're already having your number 1 seed play your 8 seed, which is, with the conferences, it's your 15th and 16th seeds is what it is. Like, that's what it's supposed to be, So I don't know. It's tough. But like you said with hockey, even if they keep everything the same, at playoffs, though, it's like, dude, this team was a lot better. Like, and maybe it's not like a lot better, but 6 points better or something.
Yeah.
But because they didn't, because the team that was in first won their division, they slide down to the 2nd, 3rd, or whatever, and so,
So I don't agree with it. I think I don't know. I think it allows the opportunity for worse teams to get the luck of the draw and make Stanley Cups and all that stuff because, hey, you're not the best team, but you just got the luck of the draw and got to go against these.
That's where, like, with Winnipeg, to get Colorado on the first round, that's tough. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like in the NBA with the Knicks and the 76ers, that's tough. That's a tough, like, man, you're the number 2 seed, but you have to get the 76ers, and that was a lot of different reasons, though.
Yeah.
But it's almost something like that, and so it's just, man, that's, I
don't know. But
the NFL draft, like, we can keep talking about playoffs, and hopefully, so the Nuggets play Monday night, Game 5 at Ball Arena. Avalanche play Tuesday night, Game 5, but it's in Winnipeg.
Yep.
And so hopefully we can both just get to round 2, look forward. The Nuggets would play looking like Minnesota, possibly Phoenix if they can come back, but most likely it's Minnesota. Yeah. And then the Avs would play the winner of Dallas and Vegas.
Which that series is still up in the air.
Yeah, it's been a great series. That's actually going to be one of our game picks a little later.
Yep.
This weekend, though, the NFL draft happened as well.
Yep.
And I know me and you were pretty upset. We've been saying this for a while. I can't remember if we actually said it on the pod or not, but I remember, so Megan, one of her friends, texted like, hey, what did Tim think of the draft or whatever? And he's like, well, about a month or 2 ago, he literally told me anybody but Bo Nix.
Yep. And
I hope that we're wrong. I hope Bo Nix comes in. I will cheer for him. Oh, hey, he's our quarterback, you know? I hope he kicks butt. I don't think he's going to, but I think he's a very average quarterback where at number 12, it wasn't worth it.
Yep.
I really don't. I think you could have traded back. I really liked Michael Penix Jr. Atlanta threw
Yeah, I'm just glad we weren't as bad as Atlanta. We tried to be, I think. Mm-hmm. We tried to be bad, but...
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Atlanta signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million, right? $180 million, and he just came off of an Achilles injury.
Yep.
But just signed him this offseason. Well, Atlanta's at number 8. Roma Dunze's there. They already have Kyle Pitts, so probably not Brock, Powers, but Roma Dunze, probably the second top wide receiver in the draft.
Second or third, maybe.
But he's available there. I feel like you probably could have used that, or even a defensive player, and they take Michael Penix Jr., who also has had major injuries,
and he's 24.
And he's 20. He turns 24 next week, I think, right? So, say everything goes to plan. Kirk Cousins is your quarterback for 4 years. So you're telling me then you're waiting for Michael Penix Jr., who has already had major injuries, to be your starter once he turns 28.
I think it's just ridiculous. You're better off waiting for next year or like another year. Yeah, you might not get as good as a quarterback, but you don't need a quarterback.
Exactly. Well, what if Kirk Cousins kind of like MVP, like how Aaron Rodgers did in Green Bay when they drafted Jordan Love?
Yep.
It's like, all right, and say you want him another couple of years. Well, then it gets pushed back even further.
Yeah.
I don't think Michael Penix Jr. is ever, unless injury by Kirk Cousins, I don't think he's ever going to play for Atlanta. I think something's going to happen. He's either going to get traded, or he might not even, like, his new rookie deal or whatever is going to be done, and he goes and signs somewhere else.
It doesn't make sense.
And they might be doing it because of injury.
Maybe.
And you know somebody that's very injury prone.
Kirk Cousins, he is coming off a ruptured Achilles, which sometimes you come back not as good, but you don't know that for sure.
But why pay him $180 million?
Even if Kirk Cousins were to get hurt, getting Roma Dunze would have been it would have helped whatever quarterback's in.
Oh yeah.
Because you've got, who did they just trade for?
Keenan Allen.
Oh no, that's Chicago.
Oh, you're saying Atlanta?
It was like Atlanta.
Wide receiver.
They got Drake London. I can't even name a second wide receiver.
That's where they have to have a wide receiver up there.
I don't think so. I don't know. They might. I'm not a
Falcons fan. I can't think of it. I'm sure they have some, but he would have been at least your number 2, if not your number 1. Yeah. And then you give it to Chicago. So Chicago got Caleb Williams. They just got Keenan Allen. They got DJ Moore in the trade. And now you and you also add Roma Dunze.
And DeAndre Swift signed there too.
Oh my goodness. And remember, Chicago, I think they had 8 wins, right?
Yeah, they turned it on.
And they gave one up to us, which we should definitely probably not have beat them. Detroit, they actually should have beat Detroit as well. So they were a borderline playoff team.
Yeah.
And then they also add all this stuff.
Yeah.
And who knows how Caleb Williams is going to do, but you're putting him in a pretty good, especially with Keenan Allen, who, I don't know the exact stats, but I bet you he's very close to the most targets in the NFL the last 5 years or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
If not the most.
If Keenan Allen can continue to stay healthy, he's a great fit in Chicago.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that. Back to the Broncos. Bo Nix, what do you think?
I think it just screams desperation. I think that's what all the analysts are saying as well. It's what I said in a couple episodes ago, that the one thing I did not want the Broncos to do was pick desperately. And I think that's exactly what they did, number 12.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't even matter who else they picked, just anybody but Bo Nix, which, again, I'm like you. I hope I'm wrong about Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I hope he is good. But
and if we're very what's the word that I can think of? Not faithful. Like we're very
I have no idea, dude.
It's like no matter, we're loyal. Yeah. We're extremely loyal to our team.
Yeah.
So even though we don't like to pick, hey, we're rooting for him.
I'm just like looking at a realistic cap of realism. we don't have wide receivers that are gonna be threats for Bo Nix to use.
Yeah, they got the guy out of Oregon, his top wide receiver, and I think they did that for Bo Nix to make him feel comfortable, because if you have somebody that you're used to, you obviously feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And you asked me the other night, though, who do you think is going to be the first string, second string, third string that we have? And I said, I think we're doing Bo Nix first. I said
Zach Wilson.
No, you said Stidham. I said Stidham, but if they can get out of Stidham's deal, I don't know how they do that. If they can, I think Zach Wilson will be second then, and then Stidham third or something else. And you don't think Bo Nix is going to – you think he's going to start as 3.
I don't know.
That's what you said.
Okay, I did change and say just because we drafted in the first round, I don't think he's going to be a third string. But I don't think he's the number 1 starter right now. I seriously don't. I think getting Zach Wilson, I think just because he's already been in the NFL, he edges out Bo Nix. I'm not saying that Bo Nix can't beat him in training camp and preseason, but I cannot rightfully say that Bo Nix is automatically the number 1. It's not his job to lose. It's his job to win. I think that's the key point right there.
Whose team is it to lose right now?
I think Zach Wilson's.
Think it's his to lose?
I think so. I think if Zach Wilson goes in and proves that he can be a usable quarterback, I think he'll win. Just because he has, it might not be a lot experience, but he has some experience. And he still beat Denver last year.
Yeah.
So
say Zach, well, and he was the number 2 overall pick 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and he's young too. Say Zach Wilson starts, does not play good. How many games still?
I think max of 4.
And you think Bo Nix would come in?
Yeah.
Do you think if he's playing good but we're 0-4, do you think
I think they stick with him.
Interesting. Okay. Vice versa. Say Bo Nix is starting. Say how many games do you think if he's just not playing good, or
I think you go 4 or 5.
Even with a rookie?
Maybe one more. But
I think it depends on how you lose.
If we just look terrible and can't win at all or can't do nothing, and you got to shake things up. But
it's tough because you got rid of wide receivers. You have Cortland Sutton. I still don't think he's going to be on.
We did get 2 receivers. We got
Franklin, but they're rookies, so it's you don't know how they're going to do.
Yeah,
and so I was hoping a big splash. The best pick overall.
Yeah,
though.
I was going to say that, but
you want me to say?
No, you go.
Best pick, man. Audrey Estime.
Yes.
From Notre Dame. And it's funny because we talked about this, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, me and you were texting. Dude, how sick would it be if we got Estime on our team?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because I'm obviously I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I love him. Or if I really think that he's going to do against the Broncos.
I think he will.
I hope so. But the problem is him, Javonte Williams, and
Samaje Perine.
They're all very similar. They have the very similar bodies and stuff. They're big backs that like to bang,
Yeah.
And so that's where it's I do think Javonte. I'm hoping the way that it happens is they're Javonte Williams and Estime kind of split time, not like how Pollard and Zeke did it a couple of years ago. So it's one on, one off. I hope that it's different situations, or hey.
Yeah.
All right. This time, Audrey Estime, he's the 1-2, and Javante's 3-4. The next one, he's 1-2, 3, so forth. Because you can bang, and those guys can hit hard. Yeah. They like to get that contact and stuff.
I do think Estime is a little bit more power back than Javonte Williams and Perine. Perine, I think, is really only used in pass catching scenarios.
Yeah.
Estime, I don't think is that great at pass catching.
Yeah.
He's not gonna suck, but I don't think you would put him in a 3rd and 3 situation or.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're planning on running it. Yeah.
But what I think is going to be really great is goal line situations. We were so bad in the red zone.
You put both of those guys in. You don't know which. Even if you're in shotgun or whatever, have both those guys back.
Yeah.
It's whoever doesn't get it can hopefully throw down a block too, and so
I do think it's gonna help Broncos immensely in the red zone, which
I hope so. we need help there. Yeah. Honestly,
so
we need help.
That was the one pick that I was really excited about.
Yeah. All right, we were at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Don't hate, but we were at Chuck E. Cheese, and we were across, and you texted me, dude, we got this. Yeah. So that was so exciting.
Yeah, I was pumped, but
I'm gonna be trying to get a signed Estime Notre Dame jersey, and I kind of thought about it in the past, but I was like, I don't know.
But now that he's a Bronco, it's so much cooler.
And Megan's like, you're not even gonna wear it. It's like, I know I'm not gonna wear it, but I need it in the basement. You know,
exactly.
I need to buy my other ones. You know, and so I don't know where I'd put it because I'm kind of running out of some space. But
you'll find space. Somewhere. You can move stuff around.
Maybe move the Mellow jersey.
All that.
I don't know. I might have to just have this in Notre Dame jersey wall and then move my Nuggets jersey.
Yeah, you'll find a space.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, Broncos, they got the second worst draft grade score.
Oh, number one was
NFL.
Atlanta.
Number one was Atlanta. They got a D.
I think Chicago
and we got like a D plus.
Yeah,
I
think Chicago did amazing. I think they got a very.
I think Chicago looks very good next year. I can't wait for fantasy. They're going to be a fantasy nightmare.
Yeah,
teams.
It's like who you pick. Too. Yeah, you know, it's like because they have so many weapons. It's almost like how the Broncos were back in 2012. Where it's like we had so many weapons that it's like, who do you pick kind of thing. And so it's all depends, though. We'll see how Caleb Williams plays. Because if he ends up not playing good, they already got rid of Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And so if he ends up not like transitioning great to the NFL, that'll be interesting. I think he'll be all right.
Did you see what he texted? So Bears, they drafted a punter. Mm-hmm. Did you see what Caleb Williams texted him? So they drafted a punter, and Caleb Williams texted him, was like, hey, welcome to the team, but we're not going to be punting much. But
that's pretty funny.
Like, so that's he's like, I don't even know how I would reply to that.
Yeah.
Like, thanks.
That's funny.
But real quick, so 6 quarterbacks were taken first round. Which of the 6? By the way,
I told you there was going to be 5 before the Broncos.
Yeah, you're right. But of the 6, who do you think is the best, and then who do you think is going to be the worst in their career?
Man. That's a tough question. I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to have the worst career.
Interesting.
But it's because of the situation that he got put in right now. And so I don't think he's going to get as much like playing time as much necessarily. Mm-hmm. And by the time he hopefully does get playing time, he's going to be a little older. So I think overall, I think he's going to have the worst career just because if you've been a backup for 4 years, say, a lot of teams aren't going to look at you to be a starter.
Yeah.
Even if you're still haven't even played, you know? And so I think it's going to be tough for him. I still am not huge on J.J. McCarthy either. Really? I think he's kind of overrated.
I think he's going to be top 3.
So,
out of the 6.
I think number 1, I'd have to go with Caleb Williams, and I don't want to because he was the first overall pick, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to just do that just because of that. But the situation that he's being put in, if you can get confidence that rookie year, and I think he can, that's very big. You know, it's like, hey, they're already a good team.
Yeah.
Where it's like the Broncos aren't a great team and stuff, you know? And so like the Washington Commanders, they're not a great team. And the Patriots. And so, but Chicago, they're actually a pretty good team.
Yeah, like,
I'm not like great, but and now they've gotten all these other weapons and everything. And so I think he's probably going to.
So I want to go with the field, like anybody but Caleb Williams. Because I do not think he's going to be amazing. I don't think he's going to be like a all-star quarterback. I think he's got the ego of an all-star quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think he's really that good.
He took a step back this last year.
Yeah.
It looked like.
But I also think he kind of just didn't care.
Yeah, and it could have been, honestly.
Because USC wasn't really that good.
It honestly could have.
But he still won the Heisman, so I guess he didn't.
Not this last year. He won it 2 years ago.
Jaden Daniels. was the one this year. But I think Jaden Daniels will be the best quarterback, in my opinion, from this class. Maybe not first year, but Washington will still be somewhat dangerous. They got Terry McLaurin, so they don't have nobody to throw to.
Yeah, got scary Terry.
And I don't know. I'll probably sound like a hater, but I think Bo Nix is going to be the worst.
That's what I didn't want to say it.
Because I think if Penix, I don't think it's going to take 4 years for him to become a starter. It might not be in Atlanta, but I don't think it's going to be 4 years. And if you're learning from Kirk Cousins, you have the tool, like you have the chance to become really, really good. Which I think coming into it, Penix was slightly above Bo Nix to start. So I think he's getting the wisdom and teachings from Kirk Cousins, then I think
it could help. I liked Penix. I really was wanting the Broncos to get Penix.
Yeah.
He was probably my favorite, just like what he's overcame.
And the one thing that I don't like about Bo Nix is his accuracy on deep throws goes down the window. Blitzes, he's not great at. When he has to scramble to extend the play, accuracy again goes down. It's he was so good in college because that stuff didn't matter as much. You could do short throws and dump offs and be fine with that. NFL, you can't get away with that stuff.
Yeah.
So NFL, defenses are 10 times better, even the worst defenses. And Bo Nix struggled against that in college. So I just don't see it, but the thing I was most disappointed with is I think Sean Payton's go about the draft, because it came out later that Bo Nix was always the guy. He was always
they just said that. I don't know.
But it's I don't know. I feel like that's so deceptive to, you want to be deceptive to other teams, but you're also being deceptive to your fans and everybody watching. So I think this draft, Sean Payton dug himself a shallow grave.
Yeah,
I think it's only maybe 1 foot or 1 inch down, but every single time they lose, if you
don't pick Bo Nix, there's not as much stress
pressure
on you and pressure.
Yep.
But now you got your quarterback.
Yeah.
This is who you want,
Yep.
And so, if you don't draft him, everybody's looking, all right, you got Zach Wilson and Stidham.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see how it goes,
Yeah,
but now there's pressure because it's you wanted this guy.
You said this was your guy.
Exactly.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. We'll see.
I think give it 2 years, and if Broncos aren't turning a corner, Sean Payton's out.
I know you've said that. It'll be interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
You heard it here first, guys. 2 years, Sean Payton's done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be so bad.
They'll have Joe Smith out there on Madden calling the plays.
Oh, man. I don't know. We finished our generational bracket last week.
Yep.
And the 85-86 Boston Celtics, Larry Legend, he took it over. They ended up winning. So they got the privilege to take on last year's 22-23 Denver Nuggets to see who really is the best team ever. You want to go ahead. You go.
I'll open this by saying I was kind of surprised with the outcome. So hear me out. I was kind of surprised just because when I think of the Nuggets, I don't think of they're the best team ever.
They won.
They didn't. So I am pumped. They won in 5 games. Actually, They lost the first game, but then they just turned it on and won 4 straight. But
Jokic almost had a triple-double.
Yeah, almost averaged a triple-double.
Larry Bird, Larry Bird played great, Jamal. But I'm with you. I know I'm
and that's not saying that the Denver Nuggets aren't good.
I wouldn't even probably say, honestly, that they were in the top 5 ever.
Yeah.
I know we're probably going to get some hate on that, but it's just when you think of your top 5 ever, they're probably not in that.
Yeah.
But hey, they got it done, and the simulation, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we did it. Maybe we'll do hockey next.
Yeah.
Or something,
we'll NFL if it's coming up. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll do something for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe just message us, see what you guys want to see. If we could do a big bracket again.
The sports that we can pick is NBA, obviously, NHL,
MLB,
NFL, and then college football.
Really? That could be
basketball,
fun.
I think. So
some of those could be fun.
Yeah, those could be cool.
Interesting. But we'll wait for those once the season starts. Yeah. But we could do hockey maybe right now and then baseball.
Yeah, maybe like a small one. Maybe like a.
We could even do team. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll definitely do something though. We'll kind of think. But if you guys have something that you want us to do, definitely shoot us a message and let us know. But we got to go back to our picks.
Yeah.
I am on a hot streak right now. I've won 6 in a row. I've taken the lead.
In the last 10, you're 8-2. So you've been really doing well.
Well, it would have been last 9, right?
Yeah, but I think I took the last 10 because
I think I went 1-2 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, you're 8-10.
8-2.
Or 8-2. Yeah,
hey, I'll take it. 10. I'm on a hot streak. I'm loving it. I finally took the lead. I haven't had the lead all year.
You got one game.
I'm up 1,
buddy.
Never gonna happen again. I'm down. I love it. Our overall records, we're gotta be around 50% now.
So you're at 52. I'm at 50.
Yeah, Kyle.
So I'm 24. And
subscribe.
24.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay, so 52%, 50%.
Yeah, finally back to 50. That's what I'm happy about.
Yeah. Last week we picked all NBA games. You went 2-1. I went 3-0. We picked the first game ones of Dallas and
Clippers.
Dallas won. We picked them. Clippers won.
You picked Clippers. That's the game.
That's the one. Yeah, you picked Dallas. I picked the Clippers. The other one was Minnesota and Phoenix. Both picked Phoenix, and then
both picked Minnesota.
Both Minnesota.
Tim.
I know I'm kicking your butt, and I'm messing up. And then the third one was New York and Philly. We both picked New York.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So this week we were going to do 2 NBA, one NHL. Yep. These will be all game 5s, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So all game 5s. First one.
We'll start off the first one that's happening. Cleveland, Orlando. Pretty sure they play Tuesday.
And this is in Cleveland.
Be in Cleveland.
Yep. And Orlando's looked great the last 2 games. Orlando, do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I'll go first. Orlando, they won by 40 in game 3. And then they kept Cleveland to only 29 points second half in game 4. Ended up winning by, I think, close to 20.
Which is crazy because games 1 and 2, they did not look good.
No, not at all.
It was like the opposite.
Yeah. So I think Orlando has found something, though. I think I'm going to go Orlando.
Okay. I'm going to go Cleveland because of the way they played in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think they're going to, these last couple of games, kind of really show them, hey, we got to take this.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think either way. I don't think it's going to be a blowout this time. But first 4, I'm going to go Cleveland on that one.
Okay.
And so, all right, so we got different there. I just looked. So Dallas and Clippers is our next one that we were going to do. So the Dallas was down 31. They brought it within a game. I don't know if they ever took the lead, but the Clippers did win by 5. So it was 116-111. So they're going back to LA for game 5.
Series tied 2-2, right?
Yeah, series tied 2-2. Just got news that Kawhi is out indefinitely. However, he missed this game as well, and so they won.
Didn't need him this game.
They played really good to start. I'm gonna go Dallas on the road in LA. I think Dallas can get it done. I think Luka, he's playing great, and I think after being down so much and kind of falling short, I think they're gonna kind of come in hey, no, we got to get started early. So I'm going to go with Dallas. I think they're going to take the 3-2 lead.
This game, these 2 teams just can't figure out. Was flip flopping in between them, even in the regular season. I think I'm going to go Clippers though.
Okay, so we got 2 different ones. Okay.
I just think
that's how both of these games are picks for me. I could have went either way.
I could have gone either way too, but
I was thinking about picking Orlando, but it's also I think sometimes
I like Orlando a lot more too.
Well, I think the other one that like we pick too, it's like if you pick Orlando, it's like I kind of want to be different and stuff.
Yeah,
and so it's funny that you say that because you picked Cleveland to beat Boston. So just want to throw that out. I think they're going to throw that out, but
Cleveland's going to win in 7, then beat Boston in 4.
You heard it here first. Yeah. Okay, so we got different on that one as well.
Yep.
The last one we're going NHL, and we haven't done great in NHL, but we're going NHL. So we got the Las Vegas Kings versus the Las Vegas Knights. Golden Knights versus the Dallas Stars. This is in Dallas, you said?
Yep.
Right?
It's going to be Game 5. I think, I don't remember when Dallas and Vegas play next. I think tomorrow, maybe for Game 4, but
I'm trying to think. So we're picking Game 5, right?
Yep.
We're doing? I'm going to go Dallas. I think the home... I think the Knights are going to tie it up. And then I think Dallas is going to...
Well, right now Dallas is down 2-1.
No, they're up.
Vegas won both games in Dallas.
Did they?
And then Dallas won
in the overtime. I'm going to go to the Golden Knights then.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to switch it. I'm going to go Golden Knights.
I think
this is Game 5. Okay, so it's not Game 4. This isn't the next game. Game 5 is what it's going to be. I'm going to go Knights.
I am going to go Dallas. I think Dallas.
So you did. Is that because I went there?
No, I was always picking Dallas, and I think Dallas is going to win out. I think.
Really?
I think so.
So going down 2-0 and then win 4 straight?
Yep.
Interesting.
I think they're going to win out. They're going to win to tie it up, go 2-2, then come back home, win Game 3, and then they're going to have them on the ropes and win Game 4. They were the best team in NHL and the Western Conference, and I think they're going to show why.
All right. This next game is going to be huge for that game, but I'll go Knights.
If Dallas loses Game 3, I feel like I'm kind of screwed. But
Game 4?
Game 4,
yeah.
But
then they're back at home, too, and so, it'll be interesting. All right, so we have 3 different ones.
Yep.
So this could be huge this week.
You could go up 4.
You could end up going back 2. But we'll see. I'm excited. Obviously, you guys saw we didn't take a break.
Yeah.
We kind of said we were going to, and then we just kept talking. I don't even know if we'll do breaks anymore. We'll see just how how the flow goes and everything. But we hope you guys liked this week. And if there's anything else that you guys want us to talk about, I know I've gotten some messages about a few different things that we've definitely hit on and stuff. And if you guys would like a guest or something, just kind of give us something that you'd like to hear, and we'll kind of bring some on. I know we've had a lot of different guests in different aspects and stuff, compared to Book with Steve, Chris, Nathan, and Mel, the big fella. It's definitely a lot of different perspectives, and we kind of like that on here. And so, but hopefully we'll get another guest here in a few weeks. If anybody wants to be a guest, definitely let us know. But we hope you guys like this. Please subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram. Definitely that Instagram and YouTube, especially YouTube. We really appreciate those subscribes.
But hope everybody has a great week. Go Nuggets.
Go Nuggets. Go Avs. Yeah, hopefully by next week we're in round 2. We're talking about that on both of them. So, but that's all we got. So we will see you later, alligators. Peace.